Si lo pierdo ni modo, porque yo soy de los hombres que cuando pierdo no lloro. Las mujeres son barajas que hay que saber barajear para saber cuál es la tuya, es la que vas a apostar. No, ya después de perdido quieras volver a jugar. Y si juegas sin malicia, porque no les tienes miedo, esperando a sota de oros te aparece un caballero. Dispense mi buen amigo, es que yo llegué primero. Y no se agüite, pariente quitío, que mejorcitas las hemos deseado. Hay que aguantar la vara, señor, y arriba la laguna seca. El que no lo quiera creer, que le entre a los panteras, pierde dinero y mujer, y hasta la portamoneda a veces llega a su casa con la camisa de fuera. Y ni modo de reclamos, porque yo llegué a caballo, estoy regando el rosal pa' cortar la flor de mayo. Perdóneme, rey de copas, pero yo soy de a caballo. Y si juegas sin malicia, porque no les tienes miedo, esperando a sota de oros te aparece un caballero. Dispense mi buen amigo, es que yo llegué primero.
¿Qué importa lo que digan de mi vida? La quiero mientras Dios me lo conceda. ¿Qué importa que me digan que es muy falsa? La quise y la quiero todavía. Si acaso no pudiera estar contento, allá donde se encuentran tus caricias, yo fuera hasta la gloria de los santos
negros y indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas. ¿Esto dónde lo dice, según esto dice en la Biblia.
Show that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality.
Police attack was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
Then our only recourse is to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalks, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when we need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to a process arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
What's going on, Malama? You hear me?
Mic check. Can you hear me now, sir?
Low Christ, I can hear you.
Kaka, Most High in Christ.
Can you
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
I can hear you good.
Okay.
Hey, what's going down, Israel? Shalom, Rasa. We're right here another night, man. We're back at it. Y'all already know what it is. Well, y'all tuning in to the Inconvenient Truth. I'm right here, of course, with Officer 5000, Officer Lahav. I'm Priest and Officer Malakma. We're back here. We back at it here, on a Saturday night. And there's a lot going on right now, Rasa. There's a lot going on out there with current events. What you got, sir? You got mass shooters. You got Border Patrol agents found unalived. So much is happening, sir.
Damn right, Doc. Damn right. A lot going on right now. See it all over the news. I see it all over my social media.
Right.
And I guess the most recent thing that I seen was that one ICE agent,
right,
that had took the kid from Walmart, the 18-year-old kid.
Right.
Probably want to touch on that first. What I mean? But like what the brother said, man, it's an inconvenient truth. Man, we back at it. You know what I mean? Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us. You know what I mean? Got any questions, you can, of course, bring up your questions, and let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about everything that's going on with the raza, When I say raza, that doesn't just mean Mexicans. That we're talking about Central Americans, because Central Americans are raza too. People from South America, those are raza too. You talking about Honduras, you're talking about Guatemala, you're talking about Nicaragua, you're talking about Colombia, you're talking about El Salvador. You know what I mean? Those are all our people, man. And you got brothers in the West Indies. That's raza too. You know what I mean? Black people. That's our people. You know what I mean? We're all one. But let's talk about it. What's going on, Malak, man?
Damn right, sir. Also, if we could, time permit, I did want to go over something real quick because it ties into the whole thing with the Border Patrol, right? And it's to crush a lie that's being spread out there about our situation. I don't want, like the lie that they push, how they call our people criminals, and they try to claim that it's not racist what Donald Trump is doing. Let's talk about that they're just enforcing the law. So definitely want to want to show something to our people out there, and go over some facts. But yeah, we can definitely get started with this situation right here. And of course, for anyone, before we share this, as Officer Laha brought out, like, share, and subscribe, comment, any questions you got, your thoughts and opinions as well, So let's get it. This is the clip right here, real quick.
All right, this just in. A Border Patrol agent involved in a controversial arrest and then arrested himself is now dead.
Yeah, Simon editor Mike Rogers has been following every twist and turn of the story, and he's here now at the desk with what investigators are saying.
Yeah, and Amy and Juan, certainly shocking news to everyone that was involved in this case to learn that Isaiah Anthony Hodgson, the Border Patrol agent accused in a rough arrest of a U.S. citizen and then accused in a criminal matter down in Long Beach, is now dead. We'll show you the video here, what we're talking about. This was at the Yard House. Remember, told you about this story a couple of months ago where this agent allegedly off duty but with his service weapon was inside of that Yard House restaurant and allegedly pulled out a gun in the women's restroom. Long Beach police says when they arrived to try to arrest him, he physically fought with him to the point where he had to be tased. This is video from previously in June when Isaiah Anthony Hodgson was involved in the arrest of Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez, the Walmart employee and U.S. citizen who was allegedly trying to intervene in a Border Patrol action. Now, Hodgson would later be known for his arrest by Long Beach PD. There is Adrian Martinez this afternoon, the Riverside County coroner confirming that he is dead. They say he died on the 22nd, so just a few days ago. His cause and manner of death are still unclear at this point and still under investigation by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department out there in the near the Hemet area. It's unincorporated Riverside County. I've reached out to his public defense team. I've reached out to the DA's office. I've reached out to the Riverside Sheriff for more information. We're waiting to hear back from them. But again, the coroner's office out there in Riverside confirming that he is dead and died on the 22nd, 2 days after his last court appearance, guys.
So how he died, a mystery.
Yep.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
Good night, sir. That's all I can say, man.
These have just announced
that he died of mystery.
Died of mystery. Well, I mean, I'll bring.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
He probably. I don't think it was suicide. I think it was something else. It's like,
sir. I mean, one thing I do know for sure, right, is that the Lord authorized. How do I say it, right? The Lord authorized the unaliving. I know that sounds crazy, right? But what's that scripture say? Not even a bird falleth out the sky without the Lord's anointing. Is that the right term? Am I using the right term, Adawan?
That sound right. Or is there evil in the city that I have not done? You know what I'm talking about?
You want me to bring out the scripture?
No, I was just quoting it. But go ahead.
Because the one I was gonna bring out real quick is because it sounds like, from what I seen, sir, from what's happening with this cat, or what happened with this cat, so like I gotta say in the past tense, is that just thing after thing kept showing out, exposure after exposure kept happening to this Border Patrol agent after that incident, First it was that, right, with the where he wrongfully detained that brother and took him in, but then after he got into an incident at that Yard House, and then what they say, he went to court, and I wonder what happened at the court, Wonder what happened at the court that the judge brought out and said, if any other charges were brought out on this man,
Right, I tell you nothing too. Remember, like that one, the head of the Homeland Security, is it Homeland Security? Christine Olney. You know what I'm talking about? Right.
Yeah, it's Secretary of State Christine Olney.
Yeah, so she make it seem like those ICE officers are like the most, outstanding officers, and this cat was inside a woman's restroom, right?
Right.
I want to say he was harassing another female cop.
Good night.
At the back, you gotta look for that. But he was harassing another female cop inside the woman's restroom. You know what I mean? And that's the character. Like this cat, he's probably a drug addict more than likely. He's probably some cokehead. You know, he's probably on coke and drunk and doing shit like that. But like they paint the so-called immigrants as the rapists and the thieves and the criminals. Like this cat's a criminal, damn near rapist. Like what are you doing inside the women's restroom?
Yeah, right. What are you doing in there, man? Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Any man inside the women's restroom is like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like there is no getting away from that unless you got a daughter or something like that. But it's like even that's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
So it's like, what the hell was he doing? He was harassing. Like I said, he was harassing another female cop. So this cat is damn near a sex offender, or like a rapist, damn near a rapist. You know
definitely,
what I mean?
Sir.
And I don't know if they were talking about this too much. I don't remember seeing this too much on the TV, but like I see it a lot because of the people I follow on social media. But I'm not sure if this was Fox and CBS and things like that. I didn't see that too much. But go ahead.
So like, sir, I'm trying to find that original story, like from what happened. Like, okay, so here's the first story. Let me share the back then what happened. Oh, come on. For anyone's memory, for those who forgot, just here's what happened with him.
With an off-duty Border Patrol agent now facing serious charges after being arrested at a local restaurant.
Now, that Border Patrol agent accused of pulling a gun inside a Yard House restaurant Monday night.
And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers here at the desk. Mike, you've been working this story for the last several days now, and you have exclusive details for us right now.
Yeah, that's right. Juan and Amy, we discovered this story Tuesday evening. We've been working it ever since. And tonight we can report to you that this Border Patrol agent has been arrested. The accusations against him, according to the Los Angeles County DA's office, stem from the Yard House restaurant in Long Beach on Monday night. We'll show you video of the Yard House where the agent is accused of being in a women's restroom inside of the Yard House and allegedly pulling out his CBP-issued service weapon inside of that restaurant. Concerned people in there got a manager involved who called 911. According to the Long Beach Police Department and audio that I have listened to, Long Beach police officers arrived after the suspect had left the restaurant and was outside near the patio area. Long Beach police officers attempted to get him to surrender to them. He refused, according to police, and a physical altercation ensued to the point where police officers had to tase him to be able to finally take him into custody. I want to show you a photo obtained by a source close to known to the investigation here. This is the suspect that we're talking about. This is the Customs and Border Patrol agent. This man now facing several felony charges, including carrying a concealed weapon, battery on a police officer, resisting arrest. The DA's office accuses him of being intoxicated at the time of this ordeal. If this face looks familiar to you, it did to us as well. This person we now know is involved in a Pico Rivera arrest. I showed this mugshot to 20-year-old Adrian, who was arrested in a Walmart parking lot back in June 17th. We'll show you that video. That arrest caught on camera here. There you see that same agent tussling with Adrian Martinez in the Walmart parking lot after federal agents say he tried to get involved and stop an immigration arrest. Originally, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley accused Adrian of punching a Border Patrol agent. Here you see the photo after the suspect, now in custody or now arrested and charged, sunglasses fell off. This is Adrian and his attorney giving a press conference after this whole ordeal went down. Adrian's charges were then reduced from punching a Border Patrol agent to conspiring to impede Border Patrol operations. Tonight, Adrian's attorney is speaking out about the incident. I want to show you a statement we just got from their law office saying, quote, the Border Patrol agent was arrested for an off-duty act of felony violence, which is indicative of the violence frequently seen in ICE Border Patrol arrests. The arrest confirms the fears many have right now regarding violent, unaccountable, and unhinged federal agents roaming the streets. Guys, I can tell you I've reviewed court documents related to this case as well. That agent refusing to identify himself to Long Beach police officer as a Border Patrol agent. He was asked for his occupation to be put in the arrest record. Long Beach police tells me he refused to give that to him. He was arraigned this morning. He will be going forward with the court system. He's back in court next week, guys.
Incredible work piecing all this together, Mike. Thank you very much.
And good night.
And now it
Khan. So like, sir, we got with us joining us Officer Precinct Officer 50 Alatiza.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Shalom, Mike.
Hey, Lord Christ.
Hey, Shalom, priest, Shabbat.
Hey,
yeah.
Oh, not.
It's like, if I make, did I hear that right? That the guy that we're talking about, he's actually an ICE agent.
Khan.
Yeah.
That is it's not insane. It's not insane. It's not insane. When you really get to the gist of it, if I may, when you get to the gist of it, you really know what they're about. These people are people who always wanted to harm blacks and Hispanics, even though they're black and Hispanic. They've always wanted to do that. They just needed a way to do it. They just needed an out to do it, and ICE just gave them away. This guy, he's a dangerous individual. He's a criminal. He's a literal criminal. And his whole life is to harm Hispanics. His whole life is to harm black people. And you sit there and you're like, this guy is supposed to patrol the streets and make the streets safer.
Right.
Donald Trump said, hey, we're trying to get out the criminals. No, you're not. You're getting out regular, hard-working people who don't bother anybody, who put in billions into the country, and he just wants to harm them. He just wants to harm them. That is a damn shame. It's like
Khan. I have a precept that I was going to bring out, sir, and it's Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because to me, so like, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but it looks like the Lord executed a judgment on this cat. You know? So this is Ecclesiastes
I got it.
8 and 11. Whenever you're ready, priest.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Right. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, right? So a lot of people, a lot of people out there go do a lot of evil things, right? You got cats out there, especially these oppressors, will go do a bunch of evil things. America right now has done a lot of evil to the Lord's children.
Right.
And right now, because, it looks like they haven't paid, right? It looks like judgment has not come to America. So that's what this is saying, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, meaning someone can do something evil or wicked, and the judgment hasn't, sentence, right, it's synonymous with judgment, hasn't came to them quickly. Keep reading.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men, right? Your heart is your mind. The sons of men is talking about the people of the world, right? The non, what they call the Lord's children, the sons of God.
Right.
Right. I mean, but this could also be twofold, because it could also be talking about someone that's an Israelite that's doing wicked. Anyone that's in the world, practically, right, is fully setting them to do evil, right? So they think they're untouchable. They think they can keep getting away with it. What do you see usually happen with criminals, right? They'll do a crime and they got away with it the first few times. Right. So they think they can keep doing it. And then out of nowhere, they get busted. Right. Out of nowhere, they get harmed or unalived. That was the sentence. That was the judgment. With Isaiah, what's his name? Isaiah Hodgson. Right. It looked like he probably thought he was untouchable. He thought he was above the law, and that's why he went into that woman's bathroom with his pistol, to go and think that he can go do something, and that he thought he was gonna be able to get away with it.
Right.
But the Lord has something else in store for him,
You know what, and you know what? What the trip is that they're saying that his death is a mystery. Like they're not trying to say what really happened to him. And I was gonna tell you, I don't know if you're watching Jeremiah Hyman's class. Jeremiah Hyman was saying that a lot of these cats that are doing this job are gonna have suicidal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Y'all remember him saying that they're gonna have suicidal thoughts.
Right.
Who knows what happened to him? You know what I'm saying? He probably did have those type of thoughts, but he's gone now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's saying this probably won't be the last story that we do on the show about something like this. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead.
If I may, you know what I think about? I think about how people say love, love, love. how they want America to be great, how they don't want this evil that's coming across this earth to be what it is. And then I look at it and they go do the opposite.
Right.
In his mind, he thinks he's trying to do what's best for America. In his mind, he's thinking he's trying to do what's best for the people. I'm just trying to get rid of illegal aliens, whatever. But I know I don't even blame him. I blame the country. I can't even blame him for what he does because the government, because the people who are in charge allows a person to do that.
Right.
How does that even get in your mind? What gets in your mind to say, I'm gonna attack people that look like me? What comes across your mind? The only way that comes across your mind is if you see people attacking people that looks like you and nothing happens. What we just read. Hey man, someone does something so evil and they're actually getting praised for it. Someone does something so evil and judgment does not come upon them speedily. Someone does something so evil and they quick to go around and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. If I may, sir, in Ecclesiastes verse 8 and 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. Right. They don't see what you're saying. They don't understand what you're saying. They stopped at verse 11. They didn't go to 12 and 13. Right. You brought out a heavy precept, sir. So like
Most High in Christ, Doc. It's just that's what came to mind. You know, I need the precept where it says not even a bird falleth out the sky without the Lord's anointing. But brother, if you get that for me, brother right here, Officer Karatas, I said Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Okay, I think it's that one. Okay, sir. Let me pull it real quick because one thing we do know for sure is that it was the Lord. You know, go ahead, priest, whenever you got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Okay. Is it the next verse that says it? I mean, that's a good one. You know. Oh, is it Matthew? Okay, Khan pulls that from that. But this one's a good one too. Throw out a search to Officer Karataza. Because this looks like this is a heavy precept too, right? Because it's the Lord saying he does it, right? He says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, right? So it's all the Lord, right? The Lord did it. That's one thing y'all got to remember out there for all y'all, you know, doubting, you know, asking why this happened, right? Why is this happening to me? Why are we suffering here in America? Why is this happening to America? One answer: the Lord. You know. So y'all need to, you know, what's the Bible? The Bible says, "Against the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue." America constantly, or how do I say, European Americans, right? I like that term. Constantly move their tongue against the children of Israel. Move their tongue against the Latinos. Move their tongue against so-called black people. Move their tongue against Native Americans, you know, and their pride and their arrogance.
Right.
You know, talking about how they conquered, they didn't steal. They're better than us. They made our what is it? They brought civilization to us. Try to make it seem like they made the world more advanced.
Right.
You know. So
I can tell you real quick, I'm like, all you gotta do is just like when you see a Hispanic getting arrested or getting thrown inside a van, just go look at the comments.
Right.
Look at the comments and look at what them white folks are saying. Like they're having a ball, you know,
right.
Or they're saying, you know, go ice, baby.
Ice,
you know,
yeah, ice.
Good. They have this one brother that got killed. He got unalived on the freeway. He got, you know, he was getting chased by ice.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can talk about that one too, sir. You want to talk about that one?
You know what I want to do? Like I said, if you could just look at the comments.
Like
look at the comments, man, and then white folks are saying, "Oh, well, that's one less illegal in the U.S." Or, he shouldn't have been running on the freeway. One devil said, "I think we all learned a lesson today. Don't run from ICE and don't run on the freeway." Like, bro, like they're just having jokes all day. You know what I mean? But like they're having a laughter right now, but soon, like all of them are gonna be in mourning.
Right.
Crying and we all know that the Lord gonna send a plague, or He gonna make this country like He's gonna be like a Great Depression all over again.
Right.
And all these devils gonna lose their homes, lose their money, lose their riches. They're gonna be in a low state, and we're gonna be above them. But right now they're just having their little, the little laughter. But like that scripture said, that the devil got a short time.
Right.
He got a very short time. You know what I mean? His time's coming to an end. But I would tell you, like I said, if you can find that article,
I found this video real quick, and look already, sir. Look already. So this is a story right here. Right, this happened in Monrovia, right?
Yeah, right here
on the 210.
Yeah, Monrovia, Duarte, one or the other.
Look at this. So already scrolling down, look at what people are saying. This user said right here, if he had not entered the U.S. illegally, he would be alive.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The fact that even if someone, let's just keep it straight. Even if someone did enter illegally, is their life worth it?
Look at Salakia. Look at this one. Don't even try to blame ICE for this. The guy made a bad decision that fortunately lost his life. If you do not run into traffic, you will not get hit by a vehicle. Good night, man.
That's crazy.
And let me say this real quick, Malama, real quick. Like, do you think that he wants to run in the fucking freeway?
Right.
Like, you think he really want to run in that freeway? And
right.
Like, let me ask you this, because I know we all hear the stories of what it's like to be inside that detention center. If you don't, you ain't getting no food. If you're gonna drink water, you're gonna drink water out of the toilet.
Right.
There's 15 to 20 people in the same room as you, and they're all pissing and shitting in that same toilet, and you're drinking water from that toilet. And then you lose your family. No contact for your family. You ain't calling your girl, calling your rib, none of that. No visits. It's cold. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done heard thousands of stories of what it's like to be inside the detention center. And so in his mind, he's probably like, fuck that. I ain't going in there. I'm just going to run. And sadly, he ran on the freeway and got hit. But now, like, if you could just keep reading on the comments.
Khan. If you came here legally, I support you. If not, gotta go. The Nationalization Act of 1790. How could this have been avoided? He could have self-deported. 1. 2, he didn't have to run into traffic. 3, he didn't have to come into our country illegally. Good night.
That's a white person. If I may, there's a thing called a racial empathy gap. And they did a study in Toronto, I believe it's in Saratoga, it's a school. And basically, when if you and I saw a black person or a Hispanic person, anybody of color, a person of color, if they drink water, there's a spark in your brain that goes off because you understand what it feels like to drink water.
Okay, Kyle.
What they did with white people, they saw people of color do a similar act that everyone does. The thing didn't pop off in their brain.
Imagine that.
Imagine, and this is what we're saying. They can't understand how you and I feel if we lose a child.
Right.
But when it comes to them, they want us to feel their pain. But how can we feel your pain if you don't feel our pain? This man got hit by a vehicle in the middle of traffic. Right. Your first mindset should not say he shouldn't be running in traffic. Your first mindset should be like, damn, it's messed up. They can't feel it. They literally can't feel it. I mean, they're quicker from the moon. That's in the Bible. That's science.
Right. You know when they would feel it, Ilataza? If a dog got hit on the 210 freeway.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It'll be the end of the world if a dog got hit in the freeway,
Going
But let it
down
be
to
a so-called
Vegas.
Latino, right? Let it be a so-called Latino. Let it be a so-called Hispanic. Let it be a so-called Black person or a so-called Native American, and they'll try to find some way to make it seem like it was his fault. I mean, and I understand. It's like what you just brought out, man. They can't feel empathy, right? They don't have it in them,
right?
Because they're not human, right? They don't have an ounce of humanity in them, right? I say that with context because people be like, "What do you mean?"
Right.
This oppressor, right, has no ounce of humanity in him. He only cares for his own, right? That's why 9/11 could happen, and how many Arabs could have to pay the price. But don't you dare ever bring up slavery. Don't you dare ever bring up about how America stole this land. Our pain was in the past. We had to get over it. But 9/11, you never supposed to forget. Never forget, right? That's what they say. Well, what's the slogan for the Alamo? Remember the Alamo. So they only care about their pain, and they need to not feel bad for us. You know what I mean? They need to not feel bad for us, because then they would have to, look within their conscience. And if they look within their conscience, then they'd understand and be like, dang, we had done some horrible things. We're ugly people. That's what they would recognize and say, you know what? We are monsters. Everything. My whole life I'm living here in this country right now is a lie. And it's based off of bloodshed of innocent people.
Right.
That's what they don't want to face that. They don't want to face. That's why they become atheists. That's why they become Christians. That's why they need a God that loves unconditionally, because they don't want to fathom the fact that there's a righteous God up there that will hate those who do wrong to his children, those who do wrong in general, right? What's the Bible says? The Bible says the Lord hateth sinners. And they deep down they know that's true, but they don't want it to be true.
Right.
Because if they accept that it's true, they can't sleep at night. You know what I mean? They won't be able to sleep at night. They won't be able to live their everyday life. They won't be able to enjoy their slice of heaven that they have out here. You know what I mean? Your European Americans listening right now, y'all can get triggered by what we say and get mad and offended. But we're just telling you the truth, man. We're just telling you the truth. And you should go enjoy America. Live it up. Enjoy the fruit of your ancestors, because it's gonna be gone, and you're gonna have to face justice for it. And if you had any compassion, like General Muhammad said, if you had any compassion in your heart, you'd understand that you deserve to be hated. But Salaki, I yield to the next man.
That's him.
Man, and like I said, these comments though, man, this is the proof of it, man. This is why we gotta separate from these devils right here. Because look, these comments right here, these are people that live in our neighborhoods. These are your neighbors right here. These are probably teachers and principals, doctors, lawyers, people that you see every day, like when you go to work. And they're smiling at you, and like they're your friend. But when they go back home, because they won't say this shit to you in your face, unless it's like a big crowd. But they won't say this type of stuff to you. But they will go on the internet and talk all that, all that mess. You know what I mean?
Con.
And look, I want you, if you could get another video, can you get the one where they were taking the kid? They were separating the father and the daughter. So they grabbed the father, and then they grabbed the little kid and like damn near like threw her across the room or something. You know what I'm talking about?
It's recent, right? It just happened.
Yeah.
I'll look it up right now. Salak, just real quick before I get to that, the sister right here, the sister Yashar Banaf asked, Salak, sir, where did this happen at? This happened since this happened out here in LA, out in Southern California. I believe it's in the city of Monrovia on the 210 freeway, which is a freeway out there, that Officer Lahab, Officer Latazah, myself, we're familiar with this freeway because this is the main freeway we use to get to our school in San Bernardino.
Right.
And another thing too, you know where he was at, right? He was at the Home Depot.
The Home Depot.
He was at the Home Depot right there posted. And then that goes back to the whole thing and them saying, like, because they keep saying this on the news, we're going after the cartels and the gang members, MS-13, 18th Street. But when they go do raids, they're not doing them in like a a gang area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to Home Depot and restaurants right here or my slavery. They have 2 car washes right here by my slavery, and they did a raid at the car wash. There ain't no 18th Street, MS-13,
Right.
or no cartels in the fucking car wash or at the Home Depot. These are just regular cats, regular Hispanics trying to get a slavery, trying to work for some money. You go pick them up and they'll go hook up your house. That's who's there, and then after that job, they'll go work somewhere else. You know what I mean? But they're drilling in everybody's head that they're getting cartel members. They're getting like these guys that are supposedly kidnapping, trafficking people, and all of that is BS. You get what I'm saying? And the proof of it is that they're going to Home Depot. And I don't know if everybody's passed by Home Depot. And you see the Mexicans right there just standing there.
Right.
They're standing there for fucking work. You know what I'm saying? You go in there with a truck and you tell them, hey, I need some help building my bathroom and my backyard. They'll hop in there and they'll hop in your trunk and they'll work. And that's who they're grabbing up.
Right.
Salaki, I'm gonna pass the next brother.
Salaki, just real quick. The sister Olivia Arnold said, "What's the topic about so I can ask accordingly, sir? And more, is it random?" Our topic right now, sis, it's according to what we bring out. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Salaki.
We're talking about ICE, immigration, Donald Trump, things that are going on with Hispanics.
If I may, and this is into them, it's just all black Israelites. The same way you're using propaganda for Hispanics and say, hey, look, man, we're just going after the gang members and MS-13 and 18th Street. When you're actually not, you're going into family-oriented neighborhoods and harassing Hispanics, same way you do black people. There has not been a difference in the way that they treat Hispanics, also to the way that they treat black people. Every black person is not a criminal. The fact that you want to make black people look like criminals is crazy. It's the same fact that they're trying to make Hispanics do. Hispanics aren't criminals. Black people aren't criminals. We work. You can't tell me Hispanics don't work. I've worked with them.
Right.
You cannot tell me. I've seen my father-in-law is a roofer. He travels daily. He travels weekly. He's a hard worker. You can't tell me black people don't work hard. I work hard. I earn my paycheck. To the fact that a person would think that a Caucasian would think, hey man, blacks and Hispanics, man, they're the worst thing that happened to this country. Not understanding we built the country.
Right.
Today, the only way this country moves is if black and Hispanics work. If blacks and Hispanics decide not to work, no houses will be built. No regular service of your home would be cared for. You know what's funny? I work every day. I go outside. I'm in 100-degree heat. I'm out there. I'm in the valley. You know who I see? Hispanics. I see them. I learn Spanish because I see them. These dudes are working. I see them.
Right.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. How you doing? You all right? Yeah. They give me water. I give them water. I know they working hard. So how can you tell me, hey man? And we talk about ICE. The ones that do know English, we talk about ICE. And they talk about how it's so messed up to the point that someone sees them and acts as though that they're not working. Hey man, this man got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go build a house in your neighborhood.
Right.
He builds a house in your neighborhood to go back to his neighborhood. He builds it. He builds your house faster than a white man could, any faster. He builds the house, you pay him, he goes back to his neighborhood, yet you will label him a criminal. That is
right.
It's insane to the point, and this is why we have to run the world.
Right.
You want the world to be great. You want the world to be amazing. You have to let us run the world. You know why? Because no one is empathetic like us. No one is sympathetic like us. I would see you and see that you working all day. I would give you a day off, paid. You know why? Because I understand you work hard. Right. A white man to say, no, you cannot get this day off. I got this from the high. Nah, I ain't gonna give you the day off, but I'm gonna give you employee of the month. But
you'll get some pizza.
I'm literally. I just got pizza in my job. Literally, I work in 105-degree heat. I walk I walk 4 to 6 acres a day. Niggas just gave me pizza and a gift card.
Salakia. And it's what is it? The quick $5 pizza. It ain't even the pizza from from one of them restaurants. You know what I mean? It ain't even a gourmet pizza. They'll get you that quick they'll get you the 7-Eleven pizza.
What are we talking about? And here's the oppressor's mindset. He thinks you and I should be thankful.
Right.
It's insane what we do just to barely scratch and make it by here.
Imagine
for us to also be looked at as criminals. It's crazy.
Salakia, real quick, just I wanted to bring this out right because of the comments in there, sir. And I came across this real quick as we were speaking, right? I'm just gonna read the first 3 myths just because for time's sake, right? And this is titled 5 Myths About Undocumented Immigrants. Myth number 1: anyone who enters the country illegally is a criminal. Facts: being an undocumented or illegal immigrant has been until now only a civil, not a criminal violation, right? And that blows my mind real quick. Just sidebar, right? That you'll call our people criminals for crossing an imaginary line to come over here and try to find a better life. Try to escape hell, try to escape poverty. How dare they do that? How dare our people do that, Alataza? My question to you oppressors is this: when y'all make that comment, have y'all ever gotten a parking ticket or a speeding ticket? Because technically, if y'all did that, y'all broke the law. So I should assume you're a criminal too then, right?
Right.
Because if they're criminals for crossing an imaginary line to come over here and escape hell, then what's that make you? You're a criminal too then, right? If you're going to call someone a criminal, trying to escape poverty is not the same thing as robbing someone, not the same as unaliving someone, not the same as being a drug dealer. But y'all want to make it the same. But I understand why y'all say that. Y'all say that because y'all want to demonize us to justify the evil that y'all do. Y'all say that to dehumanize us. You understand? So that go ahead, sir.
Oh, it's like I was just gonna say, like, they're calling us criminals, but I wanna ask y'all, do y'all know any Mexican or any Hispanic or black man that has 40 felonies? No.
And president.
And becomes president.
That's what I'm saying. But do you know any black or Hispanic that has 40 felonies? Hell no. I ain't never met nobody with no fucking 40 felonies. Maybe one
felonies.
Or 2. When you have 1 or 2, it's like, oh shit, you got 2 felonies? God damn, bro. Like, you crazy,
sir. Sir. Have you met a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American that's had 40 felonies and is free walking the streets? I believe if you get 3, you're doing life in prison. At least out here in California.
You doing life, but the president got damn near 40 felonies, and he's found other criminals.
Right.
I don't know a black and Hispanic with 30 or 40 misdemeanors.
Damn right.
So how the hell are you able to walk free with 40 felon? You know what a felon is, man? A felon, like and you know what's funny? A white man. You can look this up. A white man that's a felon, I believe it's 20 to 30% has a higher rate to get a job than a black or Hispanic that does not have a felony.
Right.
Which is he's a criminal. He's one of us. On paper, he's one of us. He's a criminal. He's unalived someone. He broke in someone's house. He sold drugs. He's assaulted people. Yet he can get a job before you can. And you have abided to the law as the best as you can. You've never committed a crime, right? You've never done anything wrong. You go to the crib, you pay your taxes, you have a loving family, you have a loving wife, you're a family man. Your ass cannot get a job compared to this white man who beats the hell out of this woman daily.
Right.
Who's been in jail for a decade. He's been in prison for a decade. All he has to do is cut his hair and put on a suit. He's gonna outbid you for that job. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane.
Right. So Salakia, Khan priest. I'm gonna finish reading it. So
Come.
as once again, it says myth number one: anyone who enters the country illegally is a criminal. Being an undocumented or illegal immigrant has been until now only a civil, not a criminal violation. Under federal immigration law, unlawful presence in this country is a civil offense. The civil penalty for being in this country unlawfully is deportation or removal, which the U.S. Supreme Court has held is not criminal punishment. However, some states like Arizona are trying to criminalize an undocumented immigrant's mere presence, and that comes to now you see why that propaganda is pushed out, because this is what they want to do. They want to make us so that they can justify what they're doing. Myth number two: undocumented immigrants do not have any rights in the U.S. Facts: undocumented immigrants have the right to access the courts. They have rights in their homes, and those who have been arrested or who are in custody have certain constitutional rights under the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments. Undocumented immigrants have rights in the workplace, including the right to minimum wage and overtime pay. Undocumented immigrant children have the right to a public school education. Undocumented immigrant children may now qualify for in-state tuition to attend college in Connecticut and a few other states. Undocumented immigrants can own property and get mortgages. Undocumented immigrants can be child support obligors or obligees, how you pronounce it, and can get court orders giving them custody of their children. Connecticut courts have not ruled on what role, if any, a parent's immigration status should play in making custody determination. Right? So, two things we done uncovered, right? Not everyone who's here, being an undocumented immigrant, doesn't make you automatically a criminal. So by that logic, as I stated earlier, if you get a speeding ticket or a parking ticket, you're a criminal now. So you're the same as someone who robs banks and murders people, unalived people, right? Myth number three: immigrants don't want to become citizens, and this is another one, right? Facts: immigrants come to the U.S. for a variety of reasons. To reunite with family or to find better employment opportunities, right? Our people come over here to escape poverty and hell, and would prefer to do so through legal channels. And this is a good point right here, what I'm about to see. However, avenues to legalize under the U.S. immigration systems are extremely limited, right? You always hear people make that stupid comment, oh, come the right way. You saw it in the comments over there on that video, right? On that story. People really think that our people come over here, quote unquote, air quotes, illegally because we're too lazy to do it the right way, because we don't want to do it the right way. Like, you really, like that's how you know this oppressor lacks intelligence, man.
Right.
Because of the things that he said, the things they say. You really think someone wants to come over here and risk being deported, risk being, demonized and all,
right,
put through hell because they don't want to do it because they don't feel like doing it the right way?
Right.
You really think they're too lazy to get in line? Is that what y'all telling me, man? Like, y'all are crazy, man. It is insane, the claims that y'all make against our people. So as I read, right, however, avenues to legalize under the U.S. immigration system are extremely limited, and most undocumented immigrants in the U.S. cannot apply for a visa and obtain legal status. It is untrue that most undocumented immigrants can simply fall in love and get married to a U.S. citizen in order to legalize. In most cases, even those who are married to U.S. citizens and who have U.S. citizen children are not eligible to legalize under current immigration laws. Those immigrants who are eligible and seek citizenship do so despite difficult requirements and huge backlogs that can delay the process for years. Right? That's 3. There's 5. Just want to share this real quick. Undocumented and documented immigrants represent distinct populations. It says most immigrant families are of mixed immigration status. I want to bring out about the group that's being targeted, but I'll wait a little bit, sir. And then look at this myth about them not supposedly don't pay taxes, which has been brought out that it is false. They do pay taxes. Our people have been paying taxes. If we're just here to freeload out the system, why are y'all busting our people at places of employment?
That's crazy.
Right.
You understand? Y'all understand? So that was just some things I wanted to show, sir, to kill these lies and to address those comments on that story.
And Malama, it's crazy how they be saying that that Hispanics be freeloading. You know,
right.
as they're coming over here and they're getting all this welfare, and I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know no Israelite that comes from Mexico that has all of that. That has the welfare and all that. Like them brothers be working 2 slaveries. And it's look, and sometimes like it kind of makes you look bad because you ain't working 2 slaveries. And and
right.
they work them 2 slaveries. They working them 2 slaveries, and it's like nothing. They're not tired. You know, they're all fired up, and they're looking at you like you don't work 2 jobs. Like, damn, what do you do in your spare time? Like you know what I'm saying? And look, they ain't got no welfare, none of that shit, bro. We do. Like for me, I'm born here. Like we get that benefit, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? And so that shit, that's some bullshit that they're saying about they're coming over here and they're just taking all this welfare. What else did they say? It's welfare and with something else. That
Welfare, EBT, food stamps.
The EBT food stamp, but something else that they're saying. Oh, like as if they're getting free
Social
housing.
Security. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Free housing. Yeah, like they're coming over here and they're getting free housing. Like what the? Like where? Where are they getting this free housing from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to see where they're getting that because it don't exist. You get what I'm saying? These cats are living like in a 3-bedroom home, 2-bedroom home with like 10 people in there. That's how they live. You get what I mean? But that's it. So like, who's next?
So like, sir, real quick, I just typed this in right on the Google AI thing, right? And look at this real quick before we, since we were on the topic, look at this. I asked Google, right? I said, are white people the biggest abusers of welfare? And this is what it says. It says data shows that white people make up the largest group of welfare recipients in the U.S.
God damn.
In line with their share of overall population. However, the perception that they are the biggest abusers of welfare, now all of a sudden is a misconception, as studies and government data indicate that fraud is committed across racial groups and that the largest fraud often involves providers, not recipients. Okay. But the biggest people who use welfare are white people, not so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and that's what's crazy. And look at this. Who commits welfare fraud? While some individuals commit fraud by misreporting income or other information, significant fraud is committed by organized groups, providers, and sometimes government employees. The U.S. Sentencing Commission found that in 2015, over 1/3 of convicted government benefits frauds offenders were white, with black and Hispanic offenders making up similar percentages. The median loss for these offenses were substantial, indicating a scale of fraud that goes beyond the common stereotype of small-scale recipient cheating. So the first group that stated is white people, man. That's who they're the largest receivers of welfare. But y'all want to blame this on us. You know what I mean? Y'all want to blame it on so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that shows you, I don't know, was it Jeremiah Hammond that brought it out? Someone brought it out in the class that said, whatever this oppressor is accusing you of, that's what they're doing.
Right. He's a hypocrite.
More likely.
Yeah. He's a, and if I may, I was while you guys were talking, I was looking at I was thinking about DACA, and I wanted to see how much people in DACA pay per year. DACA recipients in the U.S. pay approximately $9.4 billion in taxes each year.
Good night, man.
$6.2 billion in federal taxes and $3.3 billion in state and local taxes, with an annual mortgage payment of $613.8 million and rental payments of $2.3 billion. And if I may, You know how DACA every year you got to pay what is it every 2 years? I believe it's every 2 years. You have to pay $200 basically to be able to work. There's right now there's 660,000 active DACA recipients in the United States. Times 2 every 2 years, that's $1,320,000 per year. That DACA recipients pay yearly. You can't tell me, and here's what I thought about. I think about how so much money is skimmed off the top. Well, I think about taxes. Your neighborhood should have no potholes. Your school systems. When I was in school, I graduated in 2009. We did not have Obama in the book. Obama was elected in 2008. We did not have Obama in our books, which lets you know what type of school I come from. We didn't have a robotics club. We didn't have these things that other schools are giving. So a Black and Hispanic school, you don't have the amenities that a white school can have. They don't even allow you to be as great as they are. You put so much money into taxes. Why is your neighborhood so burnt out? Why is the response time to your neighborhood for a murder 15 minutes later than it should be? It's documented. If a shooting happens compared to a Caucasian neighborhood, compared to a Hispanic or Black neighborhood, there's a 10 or 15 minute delay in time frame that the hospital will show up. If you get shot, you don't have 10 or 15 minutes. It proves to you that they don't care. It's called redlining. When you look at certain neighborhoods, when you look at a Caucasian neighborhood, they have more trees than you have. You don't have as many trees as they have. Something so small as that you can't see, that they don't want you to see. Yet you pay more in taxes than they do. They pay $9 billion in taxes. I'm just talking about DACA. I'm not even talking about the ones that are legal.
Right.
That's DACA. They pay $9 billion in taxes per year. And you get none of it. Your neighborhoods are horrible. Your school systems are horrible. Your teachers are paid pennies to the dollar. The jobs that you work in those neighborhoods, you're not making enough to even qualify. Yet you're the wicked person. It's the same way that they did the Native Americans when they got here. It's the same exact thing. They had all this food. They had all this plentiful things that were here. They unalived all the buffalo.
Right.
They unalived all the buffaloes, and when the Native American had to eat, where does he have to go? The only way he can go is go to your yard because you have it. Yet you call him a thief. Well, same thing with Hispanic and Black person. Same thing. You take every resource that we have, though we pay. You take every resource that we have, and what it does, it makes us fight one another. It makes me look at Malakma like he's a no good criminal, and it makes Malakma look at me like I'm a no good criminal.
Right.
When neither one of us have anything, we're not criminals.
Right.
We're just trying to survive. If you put a bone in front of two pit bulls, we have to fight for it.
Right.
They can't even understand. They understand what a regular basic, and this is not for a regular basic white person. It's not for you. It's for the ones who do know. You understand that you make our lives horrible. We can't even get anything that we want without having to scratch and I can't get what I want without finessing you. You can't get what you want without finessing me. I have to take from you, and you have to take from me in order to provide for your family. The white man's a devil. That's what he's a legit devil. There's not a place, there's not a pocket on earth where he hasn't took and manipulated and stole for himself and made the people of that land have to fight for it. He's a devil. I digress.
Khan, if I could, right, that's how you say that, priest, like we've been pitted against one another by this oppressor,
Right.
You know, and the propaganda out there, right? What was the whole thing about so-called black people sitting this one out, and so-called Hispanics are racist against black people? That's all been pushed out by this oppressor. You know, you understand? I would not be surprised if that's what comes out, how like when it's brought out, that's who's behind that. Let me say this for so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics out there, right? Both groups cannot be racist. We cannot be racist to one another.
Right.
We can be, we can be evil to one another, but we cannot be racist because neither one of us, right, run the system. Neither one of us, right, are run the system to oppress one another. You know what I mean? Mexicans aren't in charge of the housing. What's it called? The housing authority that pushed the redlining. So-called black people aren't, in charge of the immigration. What was it called? The ICE or the DHS, and are making the immigration laws. We're not making laws in charge of making laws targeting one another. Right. Mexicans didn't push the 3 strikes you're out. Mexicans didn't, put a clause in the welfare that no father can be in the house.
Right.
You understand? Just like black people didn't steal, come over here and cheat the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and steal the land from Mexicans.
Right.
We got to understand that as a people that we cannot be racist towards one another. This oppressor is racist towards us.
Right.
Because he runs the system. He owns the system. And he's pushing lies and propaganda to keep us against one another, man. So that was just something I wanted to add, Priest.
Let's hear it, sir.
God. But I think I found that video, sir. Of the ICE agent in the court.
Oh, play it.
Con.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine that. That was the one, right?
Con. I just want to show that video, man. Like, that's what we're going through. He's separating kids, bro, from their fathers. Was that was a daughter or that was a son?
Looked like there was a daughter. I mean, I'll play it again.
That's crazy.
Is that an Edomite or is that a brother?
Crazy, bro.
It could be a brother too, cause you know what? Like, there's a lot of Hispanics that are becoming those ICE agents. They got offered $50,000, and they think they're gonna get that money. I heard that they're not even getting that money right away. I heard it takes like 3 or 4 years for you to get that $50K. But you know what? A lot of Hispanics are signing up to be those ICE agents.
Imagine that, man.
But what I wanted to point out is that they put all this effort into, immigration, and let's get all the illegals. You put all this effort into this, but they couldn't even stop the fucking white boy who got his gun and went to the
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were non-existent. They weren't around to stop that, and they never are. They're never there to stop some devil from committing those type of crimes. But they will get the Hispanic down the street that's selling elotes and raspados and shit, and then play the tough guy. It takes 10 of them. It takes 10 of them to grab one Hispanic and take him to the ground and put his knee on his neck and hit him and take their kids and throw them across the room. But what some devil that's a psychopath, 20 years old with an AR-15, they don't ever catch him. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Nah, that's sad, and once again, it only proves a point we made about calling this oppressor inhumane, right? and shows how he's not human. Those are children that are crying for their father. You're taking their father away. And your response is to grab the child and push him off? Like, y'all couldn't spare a few minutes to let him say goodbye to his kids. Y'all couldn't spare a few minutes. Y'all couldn't have waited, let him walk out with the kids or something, and tell, not let the kids see that. Y'all had to do it in front of the family, to frighten the kids and traumatize them. But I understand I understand why y'all do that. Y'all do that because you don't see us as human beings. Y'all don't see us as people, man. You don't see our, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as Americans or as people, as human beings. You see us as animals and treat us as such. And that's why things like this happen. And that's why these oppressors act like this with us, man. Because they have no humanity towards us. They don't see us as humans. They don't see us as Americans.
If I may.
Go ahead.
That's why God has to kill them. And we just being straight out to the point. The fact, and you really have to think about the fear, even black people, the fear, like as I'm watching that, I get angry. And I really do think, like, what would I do in that situation? My mind, my One West mind is I'm firing off. I'm firing off and I'm fighting every ICE agent in there. And you gotta take me down. But the fear that's born in you because you hear, so I'm not gonna do anything. Though you,
right.
Hey man, they're kidnapping. That's a kidnapping. And in your mind, you can't do anything because you're fearful.
Right.
And they know they have that power over you. They know they have it over you. And you think even if I do fight back, they're gonna unalive me that day.
Go ahead, Alata.
You got to, sir.
Now, real quick, I was going to ask you, Alata, what's the story in the Bible where they were taking I know in the days of Egypt, they were taking the men, right?
Come on.
And abducting them and kidnapping them to have them executed as Pharaoh put that order, right, to kill the men. But there's another story in the Bible too, right? Further, was it during the time of Babylon where they were taking those sons, taking the boys?
Come. And this is nothing new. It's nothing new. And honestly, and that's why I love One West, because what would you do in that situation? As a man, if you're in that, you really have to think as a man, if you're in there and you see that happening, what do you do? What do you do? Do you say, oh man, that's messed up, and you go do a class about it? And you talk about it? And you feel shame for not doing nothing, or do you go handle it? What do you do at that? What do you do? Me, I'm with it. I'm with it. Because it there's something in you that says, right, hey, that's wrong, and I'm not gonna allow you to do that. And if I have to lose my life to that, man, I think about this shit damn every day, man. I think about it every day, man. What if some police, what if some ICE agent is taking advantage of someone I love?
Right.
Someone that looks like me, someone that's Hispanic, someone that's black. What do I do? Do I sit there and I can't, my conscience would not allow me to do that. If I have to lose my life that day, I just have to lose it because I can't let you do that. I feel that makes you want to cry. Seeing that makes you want to cry. Hearing a daughter,
right, man,
it makes you want to be sad. And I have a child. When you have a child, all that shit go out the window. It makes you want to say, I'm not going to allow you to do that. And however you want to take it, let's take it there. And you're such a coward for doing that. That's what cowards do. Like you said, they're 10 deep, taking away a man who's just selling, who's selling fucking tacos, and you're taking them away from his children. I can't allow you as a man I can't allow you to do that. And you got to take me with you.
Right.
I thank the Lord that I haven't been caught in a position like that. But some days I think, hey, what if I'm caught in a position like that? Some days I want to be caught in a position like that because I want everyone to know you can't do that's wrong, man. It just fucked with my brain. So like it just really, I know I'm going a little off topic, but it really fucked with my mind. Like, what would I do in that situation? I can't allow you to kidnap a family member from his family member. How can you take a man from his daughter? How can you take a daughter from his man? How can you separate a mother from her child? I can't allow you to do that. And whatever charge that you want to bring upon me, come on and bring it. But in front of me, you're not going to do that. I just can't let you do that. I can't. It's like
God.
That's fucked up, bro. That's
I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead, Master Live.
Nah, man, that's a rough one. And like I said, this is just one out of many.
Right.
One out of many videos where they're doing this. This is probably like the 10th one that I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
You know what? And this is videos that we're seeing online. This is what we see online. We don't know about everything else that's going on. Like, we don't even know what goes on inside the ICE detention centers. There's that one guy that there's a reporter. He wanted to go inside the ICE detention center in LA. But they didn't let him. They told him that they scheduled a date for him to go show up. So he had to give like a month in advance, let them know a month in advance that he was gonna show up. So of course, he shows up, and everything's clean. There's nobody inside the facility. There's like a couple people, right? But everything's clean, sanitized, and he's like, "This is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to show up on a random day, so I can see what is really going on in there." But he couldn't do it. He had to set up a schedule. So that shows you what, there's something going on in there that they don't want people to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, come on, bro. Like, imagine like if the guards treat inmates wrong in prison, man, who knows what the hell they're doing inside those ICE detentions? They're probably, violating women and children, and beating men in there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The most that I know is that there's like 50 people inside the room, one toilet, and everybody's like, of course, using the bathroom in there, and you got to drink the water from that fucking toilet. Or in the food, that the food has maggots in it. Maggots and worms. It could be a rumor. It could be something that's just being said. I don't know. That's just things that I'm hearing. But one thing is for sure is that reporter went there and everything was clean and sanitized. So, they set it up. They cleaned the fucking place.
Like they was trying to hide something.
Yeah, of course they're hiding something. You can pull that up too. You can look that up. Just look up a reporter that goes to ICE facility in LA. You'll see it. But go to the next story that you had. All right.
No. This one is the one about Kilmar.
Okay.
Again, this brother's just not catching the break from Trump and the United States, man. They really doing this brother dirty, man.
Abrego Garcia, that's the man at the center of what some are calling a controversial deportation program, was detained by ICE this morning. Now, he can be seen in this video with his family just before he turned himself in. Now, depending on what happens today, he could be deported to East Africa. He was sent to a notorious in El Salvador by mistake this year, then brought home months later. Now, his case has become a major flashpoint in the debate over the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
They want to send him to Uganda.
Camilo Montoyo Galvez is in Baltimore. Camilo, good morning.
Good morning. Kilmar Abrego Garcia arrived here in Baltimore to report to this ICE field office behind me, and he was almost immediately taken into ICE custody yet again. His attorneys say he's now being taken to an unknown detention facility in the country, and that they have filed a new lawsuit demanding a full trial before any deportation to Uganda or any other country in the world.
This was the moment Friday when Kilmar Abrego Garcia reunited with his family in Maryland after months in detention. The 30-year-old Salvadorian man who entered the country illegally in 2011 was taken into ICE custody in early March. He was deported to El Salvador and transferred to a notorious mega prison known as Secot. despite a 2019 court order that prohibited officials from sending him to his home country due to persecution concerns. In late March, the Justice Department admitted Abrego Garcia's deportation was an administrative mistake. After a month of dispute, Abrego Garcia was brought back to the U.S. in early June, but only to face federal charges of human smuggling.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Stemming from a 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. He has pleaded not guilty.
He was a smuggler of humans and children and women.
On Friday, a federal judge released Abrego Garcia from criminal custody ahead of a trial next year. But just hours later, the Trump administration told Abrego Garcia he could soon be deported to Uganda. In a statement Friday, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said she will not stop fighting until Abrego Garcia is out of the U.S. But Maryland's governor demanded due process.
I just simply want a court and a judge to decide, and not simply the President of the United States or the Secretary of Homeland Security, who's trying to be judge, juror, prosecutor, and executioner.
Attorneys for Abrego Garcia say their client was offered a last-ditch plea deal by the Trump administration that would see him being sent to Costa Rica, not Uganda, after his criminal sentence is served here in the U.S. It is unclear if that offer is still on the table. Tony?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Queridos hermanos y hermanas.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
So like yeah, so that's the situation with that brother. He just once again he had to go turn himself in, and they want to send him to Uganda, you know, and as you saw, the Secretary of State Kristi Noem is doing everything she can to get him out of the country and suffer some, you know, so some kind of sentencing, some kind of jail time. Like, my question is, didn't he already serve jail time? Didn't he already do time in El Salvador? Why do you keep trying to what is your deal of trying to press this man for things he did a while back that he already did his time for? And why are you trying to send him to Uganda? You know? So like that's go ahead, preach.
What has he been doing for the last 13 years? This man has made something of himself, has a family. What has he done the last 13 years that he should have this happening to him? The fuck is he gonna do in Uganda?
Right.
What reason do you have to say, hey, look, hey, I want, you know what? This guy's a criminal. He's smuggling. He's not. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he just works construction. He hasn't done any goddamn thing. And you want to send him to Uganda? What the fuck is in Uganda?
And then you see how they're saying how like he's not even. They're trying to just send him over there. Like no court, no lawyer. You know what they say, due process. They're just trying to grab him and send him to Uganda. And that's why the who is it, the mayor or whoever it is, the guy, the mayor,
yeah, right.
Mayor, right? That's why he's saying like let him
get
court.
Let him get court. He's got Salak, yes sir. It was right there in the midst, right? It says he has the right to court. And what is it? It says Salak, I'll read it one more time. I don't want just to help you. Undocumented immigrants have the right to access the courts. They have rights in their homes, and those who have been arrested or who are in custody have certain constitutional rights under the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments.
Clearly not.
Right?
Yeah. like them white folks got rights, but when it comes to us, we ain't got them rights. That's why that brother is saying just send them. Like, you know, don't let them go to court. Don't let them have the due process. Don't let them see a lawyer. You know what I mean? Because that what happens now? You got to fight. Now you got to go to court. Now it takes longer. You know, and they ain't trying to do all that. They're just trying to grab you and then send you to a whole different country. Uganda, what the fuck? Like, why Uganda? And I think they said either Uganda or Costa Rica. That brother probably like just send me to Costa Rica. You know, because Costa Rica is a neighboring country from El Salvador or Honduras.
But that's only if he take a plea deal admitting that he's guilty to something that he's not guilty of.
Right.
Which is it's insane. And again, that's why God has unalived you. Your justice system is not just. Your law is not righteous. And you have to perish for that. You have to. Instead of our justice system is, hey man, I'm gonna give this man the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna really see what he do. We give you time. We really want to see your actions. Hey man, those people do not care. If your skin has melanin in it, and you look like you from Central America or South America, your ass is going wherever they want to see you. That's where you going. Them brothers if you got a tattoo and you Hispanic, hey man, you MS-13. You going to this shit is insane. It's insane.
If you got a smiley face tattooed on you, you're from MS-13.
Insane, man. And these are our rulers.
Right.
And people look at us. I think about it every day. People look at us like we tripping. How am I tripping when I want a better place? There should not be a place that's like that. There should not be a place on the planet Earth that's not. These people they're cricket from the womb. Why in the hell does this man has to go to Uganda? What the fuck is in Uganda? Like it. Excuse me. Why does he have to go to Uganda? Uganda? Come on, man. What are we talking about? And the man probably has done. He probably has done nothing. He just is the biggest.
Right, Alatiza. Like I found this real quick. Remember, nothing is ever what it seems with this oppressor. There's always some kind of, agenda. And look, it says, what will Uganda gain from accepting U.S. deportees? Analysis speculate that Uganda is seeking better trade deals and wants to be in Trump's good looks.
There we go.
Uganda is the latest of several countries to strike a deportation deal with the United States as President Donald Trump ramps up controversial efforts to remove migrants from the country. In a statement on Thursday, Uganda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that Kampala had agreed for Washington to send over third country nationals who face deportation for the U.S., but are unwilling to return to their home countries. The ministry said that the agreement was made under certain conditions. Rights groups and law experts have condemned Trump's controversial plans to deport millions of undocumented migrants. Those already deported include convicted criminals and uniquely barbaric monsters, according to the White House. So they're calling Kilmar a convicted criminal and a uniquely barbaric monster. That's why Sinon was she was saying what she was saying, right? African countries such as Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, have accepted similar deals, reportedly in exchange for lower tariffs.
There you go.
U.S. actions are exploitive and tantamount to treating the continent as a dumping ground. Malusi Simelane of the Southern African Litigation Center told Al Jazeera, adding that Washington was especially focusing on countries with weak human rights protection. Here's what you need to know about the Uganda deal and what countries might be getting in return for hosting U.S. deportees. What did Uganda agree to in a statement on X Thursday? Bagir Vincent Waiswa, the permanent secretary of Uganda's foreign ministry, said the country had agreed to a temporary arrangement with the U.S. He did not state the timelines for when the deportations would begin or end. There are caveats regarding the people who would be transferred. The statement continued, including that Uganda will not accept people with criminal records or unaccompanied minors, that it prefers that Africans be transferred as part of the deal. The two parties are working out the detailed modalities on how the agreement shall be implemented, the statement said. A U.S. State Department statement confirmed that Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio have held discussions over the phone regarding migration, reciprocal trade, and commercial ties. The deal's announcement came after weeks of speculation in local Ugandan media regarding whether the East African nation would accept U.S. deportees. On Wednesday, Foreign Affairs Minister Henry Okello Oroyan denied the media reports, saying Uganda did not have facilities to accommodate deportees. Speaking to the Associated Press news agency, Oroyan said Uganda was discussing issues of visas, tariffs, sanctions, and related issues with the U.S., but not of migration. We're talking about cartels, people who are unwanted in their own countries. How can we integrate them into local communities in Uganda, he told AP. A day later, the narrative have flipped.
Get out of here.
What might Uganda gain from this? The foreign ministry statement on Thursday did not state what Uganda might be getting. Other countries, including Eswatini, have reported accepted deportees in exchange for lower tariffs. Uganda had been hit with 15% tariffs on goods entering the U.S. as part of Trump's reciprocal tariff wars. Salakia, it says, senior government officials in early August told local media and that the tariffs would disrupt Ugandan exports, especially in agricultural sector, and that Kampala would enter negotiations for a better deal. Coffee, vanilla, cocoa beans, and petroleum products are some of Uganda's key exports to the U.S. Kampala is particularly keen on boosting coffee exports in the U.S. and competing with bigger suppliers like Colombia. The U.S., on the other hand, exports machinery such as aircraft parts to Uganda, which imposes an 18% tariff on imported products. So they're trying. So as it's showing, right, it's the trying to get the tariffs lower. The U.S. and Uganda have historically enjoyed friendly ties, with the U.S. routinely sending aid to Kampala. However, after Uganda passed an anti-homosexuality bill into law in 2023, relations turned sour, and the U.S. accused Uganda of human rights violations. The law prescribes punishment, including life sentences for same-sex relationships. So, like, it's going more into that, right, in HIV. But so this country, right, it looks like they don't believe, like, they have human rights violations. They want to get their tariffs lowered. You know, I wouldn't be surprised you find out that a lot of the, you know, the processing plants out there for, you know, the coffee and all that, who does the labor for that out there? You understand? Don't be surprised you find out it's the people in the prisons, the migrants. That's who they want to use, who they can pay very little, and since there's no human rights protection, they can exploit them even more easily. You know, I would not be surprised if that's the case, sir.
Damn right. If I might have a precept,
go ahead.
Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. I mean, that's clear as day. That's what they're doing. They don't give a damn about Hispanics. They're not trying to, hey, send them over here so we can make their lives better. Hey, send them over here so you can lower our tariffs. Send them over here. We'll take them on and put them in some shithole part of the country that nobody wants to live, so you can lower the taxes and the tariffs that we give you for whatever mechanical boost of an airplane or weapons of warfare that you give us. They don't care, and they have to be unalived too. Once you really get to the point that no one gives a damn about you, you're just a commodity. Blacks and Hispanics are commodities amongst the earth. The journalists even said it. They even claim they don't care about blacks winning the Olympics for America. The only reason why they know that America wins all the Olympic games is because they have the children of slaves.
Look at this. So like I typed in, right, once again, you know, this is
crazy.
Look at this. In Uganda, prison labor is a complex and often abusive system marred by forced labor, brutal conditions, and exploitation of prisoners for the private profit of prison authorities. While the government frames prison labor as rehabilitation, human rights organizations have documented systemic abuses, especially in rural areas. And says, despite international standards recommending fair and rehabilitative prison labor, human rights reports indicate that Uganda's system operates with frequent abuses, forced and private work. Thousands of prisoners, including pretrial detainees who have not been convicted, are forced into hard labor on agricultural farms. Some offices exploit this labor for personal gain by hiring prisoners out to private farms and pocketing profits. And then it says violence and abuse, denial of medical care, overcrowding and poor sanitation, low wages.
Sounds like America.
Right. But no, right. Now let me see. I'm gonna ask one more thing, right? Well, Uganda, let me see. I'm asking if Uganda will use migrants for, use deportees for prison labor.
Someone's gonna watch this video and not give a damn. It's insane to me that no one cares.
Right. Hold on. U.S. deportees.
Let's see the comments.
Look at this, sir. It says Uganda's recent announced agreement to accept deportees from the U.S. explicitly prohibits receiving individuals with criminal records, but documented accounts of forced labor with the Ugandan prison system raise human rights concerns. And look at this, the agreement, right? Here's the deportation agreement. Confirmed a temporary agreement to accept third country nationals to the U.S. deports. The deal specifically excludes individuals' right of criminal right. It targets failed asylum seekers who cannot return to their home countries. The deals have been questioned by opposition leaders in Uganda. Look, despite the stated terms of the deportation agreement, human rights groups have extensively documented the use of forced labor and other abuses within the Ugandan prison system. Future risk for deportees. While the current agreement claims to protect deportees from criminal backgrounds, it offers no specific details on how their well-being will be monitored, leading to concerns for human rights advocates. Right? So all these things, right? But as it says right here, it announced agreement to accept the deportees from the U.S. but documented accounts of forced labor within the prison system, right? So they're more than likely that's where they're gonna send them to, for prison labor.
They have Uganda, El Salvador. El Salvador was one of them. There was another country where they're trying to send other immigrants, like if you're Mexican or from South America, they were trying to send you to El Salvador.
Right.
But remember too, they were also saying that Donald Trump was trying to push the issue to send American citizens as well.
Right.
So that's why I remember. I think General Muhammad commentary, I was saying, if you, black people too,
right.
You don't think that you're gonna get away with it. There's some black folks, some Judites saying, yeah, go ahead and deport them, get them out of here. But you don't think they're gonna come after you either?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be a fool to think that they won't send you to a whole different country. And
right.
I remember, I think they were saying in LA that they were gonna, they wanted to do that. It was an idea of if you have, what do you call it, a murder case. If you have murder, kidnapping, things like that, that they can start deporting you. It's illegal.
That, man.
It's illegal. They can't do that. But then again, this guy, he don't he pretty much runs the show. He does whatever the hell he want to do.
Right.
So, can he do it? No, because it's illegal. Will he do it? Yeah, because he does whatever the hell he wants.
He's above the law. He thinks he's above the law.
He do whatever the fuck he want to do,
Yeah. Salakia. Just one more thing I wanted to bring out, right? I know we almost to the top of the hour, sir. For people thinking this isn't racial, right? And I want to talk about, it's not about the Latinos aren't being targeted. They're just, targeting all illegal immigrants. Let me show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna ask: are European illegal immigrants targeted and discriminated by U.S. immigration laws?
It's crazy.
And look at this. Look at what I came across. Right. Let me share this. Look at how devious this devil is. But look at this. So there's a question: are European illegal immigrants targeted and discriminated by U.S. immigration laws?
No.
And it says no. U.S. immigration laws do not that's saying they're trying to cover it up like this. They're saying no. U.S. immigration laws do not specifically target illegal immigrants from Europe. However, enforcement of these laws can show signs of racial and ethnic discrimination, often disproportionately affecting people of color. Okay, never mind. Salaki. So it's saying people from Europe, illegal immigrants from Europe, do not get targeted.
Right.
Right. Here's how racing. Go ahead, sir.
But like, of course, like, where are they going? Like, you know what I mean? Where are the ICE raids? The ICE raids are at Home Depot and the car wash. That's where the ICE raids are at. And then here's another thing: how do they know who's illegal and who's legal? You know what I mean? Like it'd be kind of different if they went to the car wash and then they pulled people to the side. They pull the workers like in a line and ask for identification and then citizenship. You know, but they're not even doing that. They're just hopping out the car.
Well, you Mexican, your ass going to jail.
And whoever runs, that's who they go after.
That's crazy.
Like, you know,
that's crazy.
Just real quick, you know how like gangbangers, you know how they hop out the car and they chase you, like you know, that's what the hell they're doing. They just hop out the car. One more, they did that. They did that thing in MacArthur Park, where they went in a fucking a Penske, a truck. You know, it's just a big yellow truck. Like if you was there, you probably thought that someone just has a truck in there. You know, and then they open up the door, and then there's like 10 of those agents just hop out the car and just start snatch and grab. You know, whoever's in sight, they're grabbing you, and then they're pulling you back inside that car. That's the way they work. They're not asking for identification. They're not asking for anything. They're just, if you look Hispanic, they're snatching you up. You know, but like I'll pass it to the next brother.
Go look at this, sir. Go ahead, Alatazar. Go
They're
ahead.
not doing that in Little Armenia. They're
Right.
not doing that in Little Italy. This is Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California, and New York house the most immigrants. They're not doing. Look at her. Her ass should be somebody should jump out of her neighborhood and send her ass back to Scotland or whatever the hell she's from.
Look at this. Look at what she says. Let me play this for you.
A white illegal immigrant in America. I was born in America, but my father was not. He was born in Sweden. My parents, when they got married, they came over here legally. My dad got a work visa and then a green card. Eventually, my father lost his job. His green card expires and he stays in America. My father is now considered an illegal immigrant. My father was arrested multiple times, did drugs, all while not having legal documentation. They never once threatened to deport him. Why? He's white. It's because he's white. Like, y'all, are you not seeing what I'm seeing? If you're a white person talking about, oh no, we're deporting them because they're illegal, you're racist. You're racist because you wouldn't deport a white person. Let's talk about being a white illegal immigrant in America. I was born in America, but my father was not. He was born.
So it came out of Esau's mouth. You know what I mean? They're saying that they don't get targeted by ICE. You know what I mean?
Like,
they don't get
real quick, Black Man. How many illegal Russians are there?
I'll look it up, sir.
You know, illegal Russians.
What are the
illegal
Ukrainians?
Illegal Chinese in America.
They let Ukrainians just bomb into America. Like Ukrainians flooded America. Chinese people flooded America. Arabs, the people who blew up the World Trade Center, has flooded into America. Guess what? They're not getting targeted by ICE.
Right. Look at this, sir. There are no exact official figures for undocumented Russian immigrants in the U.S., but there are a small part of the overall unauthorized population, which is estimated to be around 11 to 14 million people as of 2022 to 2025. With Russia not being a leading country of origin for undocumented immigrants, while there was a significant number of encounters with individuals from Russia at the U.S. southern border in recent years, the number of Russian citizens seeking asylum in the U.S. has been much lower than those from Mexico. But there's 11 to 14 million of them in here, apparently.
Kick them out.
Right.
Send their ass back over there. Let them go to war for their fucking country. So
Right.
Let them go
Real
fight.
shit. Right. Exactly. like why aren't they fixing the problems at home? You know? Why didn't they stand and fight? And if communism's so bad,
right?
Why didn't they fight it? Why they come over here? You know?
It really boils your blood when you really take a deep look into it. Like they're targeting you. They're targeting the children of Israel.
Right.
They're not targeting an Edomite. They're targeting they're targeting Jacob's children, Israel's children, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob's children. They're targeting them. You can't tell me that Hispanics, that Latinos are not niggers. You can't tell me, because I've never seen somebody in America, I've never seen somebody in Europe, honestly, get hit with oppression the way you've been hit with oppression. We are the only ones. Hey, boy, you look like an illegal. I'm finna get rid of you. Man, these white people are ruining this country. They are ruining this country. They are coming in here. They're illegal. She just told you her father has committed multiple crimes. Your father has not committed a crime. Think about that. Your father hasn't done a damn thing. He's worked his ass off. He's a roofer. He's working. He's been here 30, 40 years. He's working his behind off. He's paying taxes.
Right.
He stays in a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 or 7 people. He's working his behind off. His wife works at a trash company. She's working her behind off. This man is committing crimes. Right. He has been taken to jail for committing crimes. And guess what? They're not saying anything to him. They're not deporting him. He's good to go. Your black ass, your brown ass, you just look. You don't even. Matter of fact, you know what I'm about? You don't even look like you do anything. You don't even look like you commit a crime. But just because your skin color is not the same that I want it to be, just because you look as though you have Hispanic descent in your blood, just because you look as though you have Latino descent in your blood, just because you look as though you have African American descent in your blood, you gotta get out. You gotta go to Uganda. Nigga, I gotta send you from California to Uganda. While this white man whose country is at war against your country
gets to stay.
All these illegal Russians who are here, who are beefing and going to war with an ally of yours in Ukraine who commits crime, gets to stay here. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it
up. Right. What's John Muhammad always say? Am I making this up? You know, like straight up. It's crazy, man. And we're not making this up. This is reality, man. You know? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Real quick. Do you have that video of those two Edomites laughing at the Israelites getting deported or getting thrown inside the van?
You know
what I'm talking about?
Nah.
It's one older Edomite. It's one, like, I don't know. Like, those cats might be like the rage bait. I don't know something, but like they're at the parking lot. So they get these brothers, right? They're putting them inside a van, and then there's these two Edomites like standing there and they're laughing. And so they get a crowd of Hispanics saying, like, what are you laughing at? What the fuck y'all laughing at? You know, you think this is funny? And he starts laughing more. And the devil right next to him, a younger devil, he just looking at them, you know, smirking, you know, like a little smirk. He's not laughing like really hard, but just giving little smirks. You know what I mean? Oh, if you can find that video, if not, we'll do it next week.
What is it?
I think
people confront.
Hey man, white people, you have to face justice. You have to. The only way you can understand it is if you face it. You have to face it. You have to sit here and look up and like, why are these blacks and Hispanics treating me like this? That's the only way you can understand it. and we're going to treat you. The scriptures say, hey, give them double of what they're giving you. You know what's funny? I'm gonna, I might own a little bit of land, and I don't fucking know Scotland or Ireland. I'm gonna send your ass to where Malakma is at in fucking South Africa. I'm gonna send you to that land where Lahab runs. I might run a little land in North Africa. Lahab runs land in Australia. You know, I'm gonna separate you from your children. I'm gonna send you to North Africa. You gotta live with Lahab. I'm gonna make sure you feel what we feel. The fact that you think it's okay to kidnap someone and take them from their children or take them from their parents and laugh about it, it makes my blood boil. I do. Hey man, I'm very nice, man. I don't get angry. I don't get angry. But seeing stuff like that, man, it takes me to a place I don't want to be at. It takes me to a mindset I don't want to be at. Oppression makes a wise man mad. And we see what happens. If you're looking at Hispanic people and you say you don't feel what they feel, there's a problem with you. There's a issue with you. And what you are a American. At the end of you're just an American, and you have to die with America. Because how can you look at a child who's been separated from their parent, and the child is crying, the parents are crying, and the father can't even attack the 15 ICE agents that are stopping him from being with his child.
Hey, something
even slack you, sir.
If I could real quick, like, you know what? I wouldn't expect like them Edomites, them devils to have any compassion, because I already know how they are.
Right.
So that doesn't really like, it's not really like what do you call it? Not a doesn't catch me off guard. I'm not amazed by it.
Right.
But you do have Issacharites, Mexicans, and Central Americans, Zebulon, that are ICE agents.
That's crazy.
Like, you know, that's like, you know, they're choosing a side, and they're choosing the side of our oppressor, and they have no problem separating families. Or at least they act like they don't.
Right.
And then you know, maybe later on down the line, that's when they're gonna begin to have those thoughts of like, damn, what did I do? Like, you know, what did I do? Like, why did I do that? And I feel like maybe that'll start to happen when you got those white folks who are ICE agents start betraying them, or start, you know, treating them wrong. Like, they gonna feel the them inside the damn ICE what do you call it? Like, the ICE agents. They gonna feel like, damn, I done, you know, traded in my own race. I became I'm American, but y'all treated me different. And then that's when it's gonna hit home. That's when they gonna feel like, damn, like, what the hell did I do? You know what I mean? But Sly, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's excellent. Because the point that how could you do that? There's a certain limit. There's a certain line as a Hispanic, as a black person, just as a person of any race, that you cannot cross. There's a certain line where you have to say, I cannot do that. You should be like, there shouldn't be no Hispanic say, I'm going to sign up for ICE.
Right.
There should be no black person that say, I'm going to sign up for the police department. Even though you know, look, dude, I'm out here in LA. The police department is not in Bel Air. They are not in Beverly Hills. They are not in Laguna Beach. They are not in Orange County. They are not in affluent neighborhoods of white people. They're in Hispanic neighborhoods. They're in black people neighborhoods. There's no black person that should say, I'm going to be the police and go to black neighborhoods and patrol it all day and beat the hell out of black people. There's a line there you just cannot cross, but you cross it. But for what? For money. The scripture says you can't serve two masters, and they've chosen their master. They've chosen it, and because you have to pay. You have to pay. That God has to punish you for being anti what you are. Hey man, I'm anti-Hispanic even though I'm Hispanic. I'm gonna separate this child from his father. Hey, you have to get punished for that. You have to. I don't see no other way of it. And maybe that's just me and my anger right now, but there's no way that you survive that. That's why the gentleman behind brought it out. You brought it. Hey man, they're gonna commit suicide. Because how can you live with it? How can you live with the crime that you've committed against your own? It's wild out here, man. It really ticks me off. I really hate that he even put that video up because I hate to see that.
Right.
It saddens me to watch that. It saddens me, man. Like it should hurt you. Some should make you like, damn, that's fucked up, man. That happened. And
I'll tell you something.
Come on. Let's go.
Oh, go ahead, finish up. You got it. My bad. Go ahead.
No. It's I was done.
I was gonna say, like, have y'all seen the videos where, let's say, they get pulled, a Hispanic gets pulled over by ICE agent, and they leave the windows up, right? And then the ICE agent saying, "Get out the car," or "I need to see identification," and they're like, "No, I'm not gonna roll down my window," and then they break the window and then they pull them out the car. Okay, so now there's another video, right? Where it's a Edomite. This cat is following the ICE agents. You know, he's following them around, and so finally they pull him over. And they're telling him, "Why are you following us around? What are you doing? Pull down your window. Get out the car." He says, "I'm not getting out the car, and don't break my window." And guess what? They don't break his window.
That's crazy.
They don't break his window. And he's arguing with them back and forth. "Why are you kidnapping my neighbors? Why are you kidnapping my neighbors? Sir. What are you guys doing?" Go ahead.
What was he? A politician, a white man, threw a sandwich at an ICE agent.
You know what I mean? Like, but so he's doing that. Like, why are you kidnapping my neighbors? And they're telling him over and over again, "Get out the car. Get out now. Get out." And he says, "No, I'm not getting out." And then finally a cop comes. A cop comes and he just tells them that you can't follow the agents. You're interfering. And he says, "Okay, I'm gone." And that was that. They didn't crack his window. They didn't pull him out the car. They didn't put a knee on his neck. You know what I'm saying? So it goes to show you that even the white folks who are anti-ICE get treated better. You know,
where's the equality?
Right.
They don't go through the whole thing that we go through. Like now, just imagine if it was a black man or a Mexican man going and doing that, bro. They be dragging him all over the floor, face on concrete,
right?
All of that. You know what I mean?
You can't tell me about equality when a story like that comes out.
Right.
White people are above the law, and blacks and Hispanics are clearly under the law.
If I could, you know what it is? White people are Americans, huh?
They are.
Jeremiah Hyman taught it in the class. White people are Americans. You, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, you're not American in their eyes. You never will be. That's why they can treat you the way they treat you. They know they can't do that to them because they're Americans, because they have. I've said this the past few, for a minute now. So like, I've been saying this for a minute now, right? If ICE was doing this to oppressors, right? If you think that video we showed earlier where they were taking the father away, if that was a white family, do you think it would have went down like that?
Come on.
Do you think that the family would have been letting them take their father away? Do you think for 1 second that neighborhood that a cat will be up there throwing rocks at the ICE vehicles and not doing something worse?
Right.
You know what I mean? These oppressors have demonstrated what they do when their freedom is at threat. They go to war. You know what I mean? They go to war. They'll go storm a Capitol. They'll go defecate on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Come on, and beat up the security guard inside.
And actually harm police officers. And that's why, because they're Americans. Because they believe they will not trade their freedom for safety. It was a heavy class yesterday at the General Top, man. But you know what I mean? It all makes sense, And that's why they didn't beat up that white man that was following them, and because they know that there will be repercussions for them if they do that to him. Because oppressors will not march and sing.
Right.
Oppressors will go to war.
Right.
If you harm them, if you attack their freedoms. But Salaki,
and you should put your trust in the Lord. The same way we got out of Egypt is the same way we're going to get out of here.
Con.
You don't have to go to war. All you got to do is serve the Lord. Imagine all you got to do is not be a whoremonger.
Right.
All you have to do is not celebrate Christmas. That's all you have. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to celebrate Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. You have to celebrate none of that. Mother's Day, Father's Day, and the Lord will get you out of your place. Instead, and there's the kicker. You know what's funny? We were here July 4th, right before what is it called, Independence Day. My old lady, she was just like, and watch these Mexicans. ICE was already out prior to that. She's Hispanic. She was like, watch these Mexicans pop fireworks. Nigga, it was popping fireworks.
Yeah, it's sad.
And it's such a crazy thing when ICE just literally. I'm in the barrios. I live in the barrio. ICE literally just took the people that was at the corner selling clothes. Then they went up and down the street and took the other people. My girl was walking down the street with the baby, and she told me how she was talking to other Hispanics, and it was just like, yeah, they took these people down here and they took the people down there.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy mindset. Like, you live on the street where they're kidnapping people, and there's nothing. And a week later, you're gonna pop fireworks. It's the whole neighborhood knows about it. I know the people who was down there selling clothes. I see them every day, and they're no longer there. Come on, what hey, I'm done. Salaki, I'm done.
Salaki, just one more thing. I know we at the top of the hour, sir. So I'm just gonna read this real quick. I typed this question in, right? This is something that I wanted to bring out at camp, and the question I typed in was, does U.S. immigration laws discriminate against Latinos? And this is what the AI overview said, right? It says, evidence indicates that U.S. immigration laws and their enforcement have a discriminatory impact on Latinos, despite federal laws prohibiting national origin discrimination. While outright bias may not always be explicit in the text of federal law, a history of discriminatory legislation combined with modern enforcement practices creates systemic disadvantages for Latino individuals and community. Discriminatory effects of modern laws and policies. U.S. immigration enforcement has disproportionately targeted Mexican and Central American immigrants, particularly those who are undocumented. Researchers note that immigration enforcement can compound racism and promote racial profiling.
Damn.
Right?
You clearly made
and it's all like all the info's right here. Racial profiling at border checkpoints. Vehicle occupants who appear to be Latino have been found significantly more likely to be asked for identification than white-looking occupants. A Department of Justice investigation found that one county sheriff's office deliberately targeted Latinos in traffic stops and other law enforcement actions. Discrimination in health. Research links anti-immigrant policies and enforcement strategies to discrimination experienced by Latinos, which can cause increased stress, anxiety, and depression. A study on Latino men in North Carolina found that being questioned about their immigration status was associated with higher rates of depression and drug use. And then impact on mixed status families. Aggressive enforcement and the fear of deportation create high stress levels and negative psychological impacts for Latino parents and children, regardless of their citizenship status. The forced separation of families can lead to traumatic consequences for a child's mental health, attachment, and economic stability. And that's what that poor daughter suffered in that video, man. You know, when they pushed her away from her dad, you know, all this has repercussions on us, and all this is done on purpose. They know the effects this does, but why? Because they want us to be criminals. They want us to be destroyed so that they can stay on top.
Right.
Right.
Priscilla, I just wanted to share that real quick, sir. I mean, I know we're at the top of the time, sir. Did you want to cover anything else?
Man, I was just gonna say, man, you know, we got that California barbecue coming up. It's gonna be somewhere in the IE. Get in contact with us if you're in the area, LA, San Bernardino. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be our black and brown cookout, strictly for Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. No Caucasians allowed, no Chinese allowed, no Korean,
right.
Strictly for us. This is our barbecue. You know what I'm saying? So if you Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you pull up, you show up. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say this too, like, you know, it's important for our people to come into the school, come into the Israelite school, UPK and the Commandery and Hana. You know, right here, we're all in one accord. We all believe the same thing, do the same thing. And I would think, like, let's say you in church. Let's say you in church, right? You believe in Christ. But let's say there's a white man in there who's in the same church as you, but believes in ICE deportation. But you don't believe in ICE deportation. But you in the same room as that cat. Like, you know, how you gonna be in a congregation when you have someone who's trying to get you deported but believes in Christ? Like, how y'all believe in the same God? You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all you gotta leave the church, because the church does not believe in God and they don't believe in Christ. Right. You know what I'm saying? The UPK, this is where we're gonna have that safety and protection, like-minded. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a black man protecting the Mexican and the Mexican protecting the black man. And right here, and that's what we need to do. We need to be united, you know, as a people. So let's say this. Let's say you're Black and Hispanic, and the whole thing of like the way you see us on the street, the way you see the can speakings, that might be too much for you. Even the classes might be too much for you. Man, you come to the cookout. You know, that's your first step right there. Come to the cookout, come get a drink, come get some food, and come talk to us and come see what's up, you know? And you're going to see, like, damn, this nigga's just like me. Right. Like, you know, we do the same goddamn thing, you know? It ain't that bad. All you got to do is just show up. You know, all you got to do is just pull up, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm going to pass it to the next brother.
Go ahead, Alatza.
I was gonna end it off that, man. Hey, what you're seeing, you're seeing the kingdom of heaven. You're seeing Blacks and Hispanics calling out wrongness, and you're actually seeing us judge it correctly. We're judging it righteously. The issue is right now we're not in the rulership to judge it the way we want to judge it. But all you have to do is put your trust in us, because what you see that is evil, we will not stand for. We will. It's gonna get to a point one day, and I know you hope for it. I know you wish for it. It's gonna get to a point one day where you be like, I don't want any more evil happening. Well, that day can change once you put your trust in us. I digress.
Damn right.
All right. Well, with that, man, Lord allow, we're gonna be back at it again next Saturday. Also, Lord allow, man, we'll try, we'll try to go live during the week, cover some more topics. Definitely want to, get the conversations going, because there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? So just stay tuned, Raza. Stay tuned, Israel. Subscribe to our channels. We got the Inconvenient Truth on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter X or X. I don't know what it's called nowadays, but we on those channels. Subscribe. If I could, I'm gonna share the channel for the Inconvenient Truth page. It's the Inconvenient Truth 1969 on YouTube. If y'all can subscribe to that channel, man, so we could get push that channel out some more. Definitely, we trying to build that up. And of course, we have our email address, which is the inconvenient truth 1969 at gmail.com. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to email us, to contact us via email. So, just real quick, I'm going to share the link to the channel, so that y'all can subscribe, man. Because, yeah, like I said, we're trying to build this channel up. We're trying to build our channel up and, get the information out there, So we pray to open up the internet and the airwaves,
right?
So that we can fish our people in, but also to give a platform for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but definitely a platform for the raza,
Right.
to come and have a conversation with us, man, to talk to us about the truth, to talk to us about the Bible, to talk to us, have a conversation with us about Latino issues, about Hispanic issues, about the black versus brown beef. Whether is it real or not? Whatever y'all got, man, bring it so we can talk about it, man. This the channel right here. I'm gonna share it real quick. Let me see. We go to Hollywood. Subscribe, Bubba Kasha. It's right here. Let me share the link. I'm gonna show it on Oh, hold on, Salaki. That's the wrong link. Didn't get the link. That's the right link right here. Salakia. I just shared the link for with this link I just put up, right? This is actually the information, But this thing right here is the one I'm talking about. This link right here. This right here is our YouTube channel, man. Subscribe, man. Subscribe. Subscribe to our channel so we can get the users up, subscribers up, and come have the conversation with us, man. Any questions, type them in, email us, however you want to get in contact with us, and of course, if you want to have questions about coming to class, have questions about the cookout, feel free to contact us, man, and we'll get back to you, man. But with that, man, we're gonna be back at it again next week. Lord allow, I'm gonna share the flyer right now, this cookout flyer. And yeah, man, stay tuned, Rasa. Stay tuned for that Cali cookout. Stay tuned for class Monday through, not Monday, so like Tuesday through Saturday. Also we got our camp on Hollywood from 2 p.m. until right across the street for Jimmy Kimmel Live, man. See us out there too. But with that, we out of here, Rasa.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom is right.
Is that D-Dude on the beat?
Momentos tristes pasan en la vida, se siente que no hay salida, con mi cabeza hacia arriba, los muertos nunca se olvidan, pidiéndole al Dios eterno que me libre de estos recuerdos, esto que siento es interno, esta vida es un infierno. Y aquí yo estoy con mi cuerno, listo para darte todo tu premio. En esta vida sí hay remedio, y Te lo digo yo todo en serio. Es la escuela israelita, es donde todo se explica. La raza son israelitas, los enemigos son edomitas. El hombre blanco es el diablo, escucha bien de lo que hablo. Y los dieron un Cristo blanco y destrucción fueron planeando por todo asesinato cometido por gabachos. La muerte les va a llegar. Pónganse a pensar, por su crimen tienen que pagar. Y esta es la verdad, y en realidad es necesidad para toda la humanidad.